Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Today we're going to go ahead and take a moment to talk about 3D printing with Cura, the Cura print slicer. You've created models. You created your models over in whatever CAD software, in our case Onshape, and we want to get these models from CAD to 3D print. To do so, you find the part that you want to print. So if I'm looking at my model, you'll have parts on the left-hand side in the parts browser that you've created. And if you want to print one of those, like for example, I'm going to print this front wheel. I'm going to right-click on that front wheel and choose Export. I need to give it a name. Give it a name that you're going to remember and it is descriptive. Preferably beginning with your own name, so we know the difference between your part and someone else's part. We're going to make sure we choose STL format, binary format, STL binary. Units need to be set to millimeter for our slicer. The resolution needs to be fine, and the download option should be download. We're going to click OK. That'll bring it down to your computer. You'll see it pop up in the window down here. Trying to open this won't do you any good. We need to go to our print slicer window. That's Cura. You can type in III or Cura in your search bar on your desktop computer, and that'll get you access to Cura. To load a part in, when you first come into it, it's going to look like this. There will be a very short menu on the left. We don't want to print directly from this menu. We'll show you how to fix that in a moment. To load parts in, you just hit the load button, and that part you downloaded will be in your downloads folder. Go ahead and open that up, and there's my wheel. It will likely come in a position that isn't the position you want. To manipulate around the screen, rolling the mouse wheel zooms in and out. Left clicking and dragging moves parts around. Right clicking and dragging orbits the window. To change the orientation of a part, click on the part so it turns a little brighter, and then hit the rotate button and drag one of the wheels around the part to get it flat. If you get it close, you can hit the lay flat button and that'll work. For placement on the bed, it's okay to put these really close to each other. You can't. It's impossible for you to push them too close to each other. The software knows better, knows how to fix that, so don't worry about that. Do worry about getting it too close to the edge of the build plate. Try to leave 2 squares between the edge of the build plate and your part. Get as many parts on the build plate as you can at a time to minimize the amount of downtime with the machines. It does us no good for the machines to sit motionless, so let's go ahead and get as much stuff on these build plates as possible. Once you have all your stuff oriented on the machine, there's a couple settings we need to change, so we're going to click the Expert menu. We're going to choose Switch to Full Settings. We're going to accept the changes. And here a couple of options are going to pop up, and most of the questions we're going to ignore. The one we care about most is support type. We want it to be touching build plate, and our adhesion type to be none. We don't want a raft. So no raft, and we want those supports touching the build plate. Otherwise, some of these parts are going to give us a real hard time. For example, this part right here, which I should just print in this orientation. Had I printed it in the other position without supports, all the internal detail would have been just look like a bowl of spaghetti. So now if I have supports turned on, there will be structure up inside there that'll need to be removed physically, but it will keep a higher quality product printed. So just keep that in mind. You want the supports turned on, and you want the raft turned off. The raft is just it's like a raft. It's like a raft that you would float on the pool, and the whole thing gets printed on a sacrificial piece of plastic, which we don't need, so don't use it. Once this loads up and we're done processing and it's ready, done slicing and processing, the save icon up top will be lit up for us. Right now you can see it's grayed out, so it's not going to print. I want to save it to my removable drive. Now you can save this to your hard drive or stick it in your OneDrive or something as well, so it's ready for you whenever the next printer pops up. And I'll show you how to do that. But we do need to get this moved to a removable drive, and there's a couple different ways to go about solving that problem. All of that needs to happen after this goes from gray to black and white. Give that just a few more seconds. Usually doesn't take that long because your prints usually be less than 24 hours. But we're going to go ahead and hit the Save Toolpath button. Now, if I click Save Toolpath, you'll see the normal File Explorer window pops up. If at this point I insert my SD card, you'll see on the left-hand side, and you're under this PC, in a few seconds, the SD card option should pop up, and I can click and save directly to that. Or I can save it to this location already. Oh, there you go. There's my drive popped up. So I can save it to the downloads folder and drag it there. Either way, it's the same process. So I'll come in here, give it a name, and I click Save. And if I open that window again, you see YurkoWheels.g code popped up here. This is what's going to the slicer, and of course right now it's in the downloads folder, so if I need to get it to that USB drive, I can just click and drag it over to USB drive, and that'll move it over there. And if I open up the USB drive, you'll see Yurko Wheels right there. On the USB drive, that's what I can take over to the 3D printer and get things started. Hopefully that answers all your questions. Good luck. As always, keep being awesome.